And we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Big Girl and Friends. My name is Christopher Wilson, also known as Big Girl. And we welcome you to our not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, our sixth, I just spat. I just spoke moistly. Our sixth week of Big Girl and Friends. It has been a super exciting 5 weeks. I can hardly believe it. This has been an ongoing fundraiser for the Actors Fund of Canada, a wonderful organization supporting the artistic community from coast to coast, from Newfoundland all the way to British Columbia to the Yukon, all the way down to Ontario, for the duration. And it seems, based on recent announcements like the cancellation of the Stratford Festival season and Mirvish Productions holding off until the new year to continue their season, looks like we're going to be in this situation for a while. So the Actors Fund is supporting actors and people behind the scenes who can't do what we love to do for you, which is why we're taking it up close and personal on camera. So welcome on Monday, April 27th. Whether you are able to make a donation of $5 or $100 or $1,000, every cent helps, or even if you can just spend the hour enjoying our show. We're super excited to kick off our week with someone I love to call as the Canadian Carol Burnett. We're not going to officially announce her, but for a little while. But yeah, we're super excited. I just wanted to acknowledge that up until now, it looks like we have, when Ryan Kelly and I engaged in Big Girl and Friends, it was an opportunity to create joy, create community, bring people together through a virtual platform to keep the musical theater community engaged and share our artistry with you online. Of course, the ongoing fundraiser was part of the initiative, but we didn't have a goal. But I'm happy to report within 5 weeks, we've raised $17,860. So I'm pretty excited about that. And that is supporting all of our dear friends and colleagues who are figuring out their financial way through this. So thank you for your support. So I'm going to bring to the stream my partner in crime because he's fun to talk to. Please welcome the Associate Director of Toronto Musical Concerts, my buddy, my pal, the fabulous Mr. Ryan Kelly.
Hey, for real? $17,000?
Yeah, 17.
That's incredible.
$17,860, which is closer to
18.
Closer to
That's so
18,000.
wonderful.
So by the weekend,
man, thank you, everyone.
Maybe by tonight we'll reach 18, and maybe by the weekend we'll reach 20,000. Which
20! Oh, that would be so exciting! Holy cow! Well, I mean, and we have to like
hot.
I mean, I'm excited.
It's hot in here, so take
off all your clothes. So we got to thank George and Gabby and Alessandro, all our guests, all our accompanists that have filled in and stepped in for us, and or not filled in, but like filled in the empty spots as far as having accompanists in the space with us. That's very, very, very exciting. It's so exciting. I'm going to celebrate by eating some ice cream.
That's awesome.
You know, I had to do a prescription run.
Okay.
Excuse me, I had to do a prescription run today. And so swung by Shoppers Drug Mart, and they had some Breyers real ice cream on sale. Be aware of when you're buying ice cream, if you are an ice cream eater, the difference in the small print of whether it says frozen dessert or whether it says real ice cream. Because if you have any tummy issues, frozen dessert you will be a gaseous mess for about 24 hours, and then for the next 24 hours, just a mess. And then real ice cream has like real cream in it, and the other thing is just made of like milk sort ofs. So I think just keep your eyes open. So this is the Breyers real ice cream.
Yay, Georgia.
Hey, Georgia, an ice cream fan as well.
Ice cream fan.
Dig in, everyone. You know, it was very. Oh, you look like you're about to share a secret with me. Actually,
well, not a secret. I just wanted to share. The AFC helps. We want to just take this opportunity. The AFC is supporting, but the AFC is not mighty in numbers, and we are incredibly grateful to them as an organization who are, as they're managing these ongoing applications that are coming in. You know, we were talking about not wanting to flatten the curve so we didn't overwhelm the healthcare system, but organizations like the AFC have been overwhelmed while artists have been in the situation we've been in. So we salute you for all the incredible hard work that you've done on behalf
Thank
of our
you.
organization. So thank you, AFC.
I'm so pleased that they're pleased, that we're pleased that they're pleased. Like, it's just,
Exactly.
it's very nice to do something good for.
So, on time. I'm so happy. You're so happy.
So happy. Just as long as they say stay happy, we'll stay happy. Did that? No, I didn't. I didn't catch all of the Sondheim celebration last night. But were you watching it? Did you see the false start?
Yeah. I waited
at the beginning.
I waited the hour and a half.
You did.
Well, I started the 6 minutes at the beginning.
Yes.
And then an hour and 15 minutes later, the full show. Yes.
I knew I was going to catch it late because I prefer to catch them once it's all wrapped up, just in case there are glitches anyway.
Yeah.
But I was seeing it all go down on social media, and people were calling the show Monday in the Park with George, and which I thought was very funny. And then watching the Schwartz intro apparently over and over and over again. What a show though. Well, what an incredible lineup!
Well, the poor host, his loveliness, was it? Oh my gosh, I'm having an issue here. Who was the host? It was Star of Company, who was supposed to host these.
Raul Esparza.
Raul Esparza, yes. Apparently,
He's
Broadway
a dream, isn't he?
BroadwayWorld.com did a little bit of a live stream today to postmortem what happened, and he was expressing that apparently he was like in a fetal position. Because he couldn't get the audio to work. And I have to say, I was like, I almost chimed in. I was like, well, that's how I felt on the first Girl and Friend.
That's my favorite. My favorite episode is seriously the shit intro. That was for sure. Because you're just like, the volume was on, the screen was blank. I was just like, and the awards were smoothest entry goes to. But I mean, this is. How do you don't put up a show without rehearsing, and you don't rehearse a few times without making a few mistakes, right?
It's live streaming.
It's live stream, and as far as I'm concerned, I mean, an hour and a half late. Oh well, whatevs. It was a beautiful show.
It was a beautiful show.
It was a beautiful show with some beautiful voices and amazing people and great stories
and really neat interpretations too. Like I can't remember. I did, and there were some artists I did.
Oh, Joanna, the woman who sang Joanna, who's from. Oh, what is she? Now I don't remember what show she is in on Broadway right now.
Where's Bobby Sue when you need him? He could tell us all these things.
Bobby she would remember everything. And I loved his kind of deconstruction of Jake Gyllenhaal's working through one of the Sunday in the Park with George moments where he said, I appreciated what's that?
He's a wonderful singer.
Right?
I mean,
I know. I'll tell him. Hold on. Just a sec. He's in the bathroom. Just a sec. Jake. Yeah, Chris says you're a good singer. He says you should hear him in the shower then with a wink. I won't tell him you're blushing. He's totally blushing. Oh, what a dream.
Yes, no, but it was lovely to hear different interpretations, and it was fascinating that sort of some of the Sondheim veterans, like Mandy Patinkin and Bernadette Peters, chose to sing a cappella, which I thought was interesting last night.
I thought that was very cool. And I love Judy Kuhn pulling something out of Dick Tracy, which rarely gets sung often. I used to have that in my songbook. Or I don't audition with music very often, but that's one of the old ones that I took because I had that cassette when I was a teenager, and I wore that cassette out. I didn't even know who Sondheim was.
Right.
Like, I didn't even know that he was the guy who wrote West Side Story that I had already listened to until I went away to college. I never had the brains to put it all together. But I was a Sondheim fan when I first saw Into the Woods on the Tonys with Felicia Rashad playing the witch. Yeah. And I wrote down, I didn't even know to write down Sondheim's name. I wrote down James Lapine's name on a little piece of paper that sat in my desk for when was that? 1987? 1988? Yeah. So probably 10 years before 8 or 10 years before I was finally got to listen to Into the Woods and go, oh, that's what that is. Right. On his little piece of paper. He's an incredible, well, he's not for everyone, I admit. Some people just don't like Sondheim.
He's for Toronto musical concerts.
Well,
we have done Into the Woods.
A lot to do with me, because I was we're doing every Sondheim ever written.
We've done Into the Woods. We've done Assassins. We've done
which is such a dream.
Company,
Merrily.
Merrily We Roll Along. That's it. Yeah.
That's all of them.
got a couple potentially.
But we got a couple, yeah. Like we've got a couple under the
Up our
hat that I go,
under the hat.
Yeah. We might finish the hat. Oh, we haven't even really discussed that one, even.
Well, it was recently done in this wonderful city.
True. Yes, and
Eclipse did it beautifully.
Yeah, I love the fact that they use different environments for their shows too, to just
Very
create
beautiful.
this specific ambiance.
Yeah,
we use music stands and projections, but they rent the Don jail and things like that. So it's a very different experience.
It's cool. So I had a fun COVID experience today. A COVID connection.
Did you have a connection?
Yeah. Well, I actually went and I dropped in on my cousins in Etobicoke because I was in that neighborhood running an errand, and I knocked on their door. And the dogs, they have 2 dogs that just went like crazy, and I heard them screaming at the dog, "Shut up! Stop barking!" because they didn't hear the knock. And I knocked like 3 times, and of course the dogs were doing their job, and they just kept yelling at the dogs. So I finally called them and said, "Answer your damn door!
Answer your door!"
And anyway, they offered me a patio chair, and we sat and had an hour visit at a socially safe distance.
Oh, that's nice. It's nice. I dropped off a box of chocolate milk at my friend Scott's door, who lives the floor up, and knocked on his door and ran away. I wiped it down with some Lysol, and then.
What did you drop off?
A box of chocolate milk. We're both fans, so
I was gonna say that's like a knock and run, but it's like.
Well, no, it kind of was. I was like, "Can you answer?" Because he was working, so I texted him. I was like, "Can you answer your door right now?" And he goes, "Whose? Yours or mine?" And I was like, "Yours." 10 seconds. So like, I ran up and knock, and then dropped the chocolate milk off, and then ran away.
That's opposite to what happened to George Maswell last week. You left again.
As opposed to, I heard you told me.
Off of his, yeah.
Someone literally got on his deck and stole stuff. That is ridiculous, actually, that it happened on. Has it been followed up? Like, was the guy on tape?
No, well, he got the people, the whole neighborhood was in on it. So
they all rallied. Wait, the whole neighborhood was in on it, or in on getting it back? Like, did they have something against George or for him?
No, quite the contrary. They were advocating. They saw George, and they were like, we need to help crazies. Yeah,
we need to help. That's funny. Oh yeah, it's interesting. What are you looking at?
I just got a lovely story.
I can tell you're totally distracted, and I was like, "What's happening on the other side of the screen there?"
I'll talk to you about it after. It's actually quite lovely, but I'll talk to you after. I was surprised.
All right.
Anyway,
listen. Let's talk about.
I have to be on top of my phone for donations, which we're hoping we're going to stream in. It just something came into my inbox that looked odd and exciting.
Your audience is going to miss out on you, sir.
Why don't you share with us who our beautiful guest is tonight?
Okay. So this is actually very exciting tonight, because this guest of ours and I have been friends for possibly like 20, maybe more than 20 years. Because, well, we were teaching together for Arts Express. Well, not together, but we met each other through teaching after school programs. And then whenever we had an opportunity to teach and we needed a helper or an assistant, we'd often call the other person and be like, "Hey, do you want to work together?" And we ended up, it's probably the worst job in the world, but maybe one of the best jobs, at least for a friendship, was we ended up having to take like a 2-hour bus ride up to Vaughan every Saturday for a 1-hour class. And then it didn't make any sense, this trip, but man, it brought us so much closer together. And she is...
Travel time on the bus.
What's that?
Travel time on the bus together.
Well, right? Oh gosh. And it was like, we just talked about life and got to know each other. And so I love this woman. She sings like a dream and like a machine, like the chords of steel, a beautiful voice, funny, comedic, intelligent, and also like just professional, like a worker. And that's what I love watching.
Do not set that up.
No, I'm just, hey, wait a minute. No, wait a minute. Like, It all depends on how you consider professional. Can she put on an excellent show, and is she excellent to work with, and does she do amazing work? That's professional to me. Dropping a few F-bombs or being a goofball in the middle of rehearsal. I'm the one who gets in trouble for talking in rehearsals. Thank God we've never been in a show together in that respect. But anyway, the Carol Burnett of Canada, this woman can make falling up and down the stairs hilarious and tragic at the same time. A woman with such a big heart, such a big brain, and such a big body full of talent. I'd like to introduce a friend and a mentor, a teacher, and an inspiration to me. Totally selfish. It's all about me tonight, folks. Laura Caswell.
Yay!
Yeah!
I'm going to talk about the big things, and I thought you were going to talk about like a big rack or something.
No. Well, I don't know. I guess your rack's amazing too, but I don't think it's full of talent.
Yeah.
My mother's watching, just so we're clear.
Your mother's rack is amazing too, Christopher. I love your mom's rack.
My mom's hopefully watching too.
Laura, where are you in the world right now? Where are you physically in the world?
I am actually, thank you. I am in Halifax, Nova Scotia.
East Coast.
I'm actually lucky because I'm in Neptune Theatre. I live across the street from Neptune Theatre, where I also work.
Nice.
Because I'm trying to get better at this. That I am in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people, and I'm really grateful to be able to perform here on this land. So. Thank you very much.
Thank you for including that tonight, Laura.
And on that note, I'm trying to get good at this too. I use she, her pronouns. And if you have trouble seeing, because some people do, I got crazy curly hair. I got glasses on today. I'm wearing black. And I'm currently sitting on the floor. But I'm really grateful to be here as part of Big Girl and Friends. And to see you guys, I wish we could be closer, but it's really nice to see you.
Oh,
this is so wild. What a beautiful introduction, Laura. How are you doing through all of this? I mean, it must be nice to be able to access the theater, but how is life with you and Bella? If I may be so bold as to introduce your pup to the world.
Yeah, she's not here. She's at home because it's raining outside and she does not go out in the rain.
I had a dog who was not up for rain as well for a long time, so I hear you.
I'm okay. I was laughing because at the bottom of this streaming thing, it says mute, stop cam mic, share screen, leave studio, and then having issues.
Having issues.
Let me tell you. Yeah.
All right, okay. I just literally with my finger just pressed my non-touch screen computer saying I just pressed having issues. Please express the issues.
Thank you, streamer.
How are the issues?
Mine just says leave studio. I guess that's I've had enough. I'm done.
You're the host. You don't get to have issues. You just have to run the
I
show.
have to deal with the issues.
We get the issues. Laura, are you dealing with any? How are your issues, my friend?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, first of all, I have to say I'm one of the lucky ones. I'm technically employed. By the Neptune Theatre because I work as the director of education here at Neptune, and I'm really grateful for that. And I know I'm lucky. So, but it's been so weird and interesting. I have survivor guilt because of it. I feel like I have to save the whole theater world.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how to teach online. I'm trying to figure out how to give people jobs. I'm trying to sort through my brain is just exploding every day with thoughts and ideas and fears and excitement. And so I'm okay. I'm okay.
And then of course Halifax had that tragedy a week ago.
Oh my gosh. And
or I should say Nova Scotia. Yeah.
Nova Scotia. Yeah. And that was wild. And then on Friday got me harder that time, those 2 hours when the lights came in and inside, because that made me fearful that things were getting really bad. They were already bad, but I was like, is there a copycat? Is this a cult taking over? And I had an hour or two where I was that was a tough time. But I didn't know any of those people directly.
Right.
But I mean, obviously that whole situation is awful. And I was today on the CBC, that town basically told everyone to leave them alone. And I really respect and appreciate that they're just let us do the thing, please. And we'll be over here. I haven't thought about it too much, but not in a disrespectful way. I've sort of had to distance myself from it.
I think it's fair. I mean, we have to be cognizant to our own limitations and our own boundaries and our own wellness, and that comes with when I had said, when we had mentioned how much money we had raised, and I mean, I wouldn't be able to do the shows that I do without the nights that I have off, and I'm super grateful for that. And so I have to extend utmost gratitude for the people who are happy to co-host when I need a couple nights a week to chill. That is so important. And so to just be able to recognize where you need to emotionally, mentally, even physically distance, but step back just so that you can stay safe within yourself. That's so crucial.
Oh, totally. And I mean, again, I'm lucky. I live alone anyway. It's just me and Bella. So like, it's weird because not a lot of my actual life has had to change. I'm a workaholic.
I can relate.
So I'm like, it's just the world around me changed. So it's
right.
very strange for me personally, but I'm determined. Like I just will take this forum to say, I am lucky right now. So like, if you got my number, give me a call. If you need a Facebook, if you want to shoot off some ideas, I think I want to help people get through this time in any way I can. So give me a shout, man.
Thank you, because being here tonight is helping. So I can't thank you enough for being here. Laura, what's your favorite memory of me?
Oh my God, I don't know, but I was thinking about the bus too. Hilarious, both of you I met during Arts Express. I remember one day, I think Chris came in after me. I could picture the library, and I was like, who the F is that guy coming in, doing a split in the door? I was like, I'm confused. I don't understand what's happening. Because I was like quite young, not young, but young at the time.
Mm-hmm. Younger, dear, younger.
We were babes.
I'm with you though, Ryan, with the bus. Like just and even like a couple years ago when we just hung on your balcony, like it's just shooting. I'll just say shooting the shit. Sorry, moms.
Yep.
And like Ryan and I, we like to talk about true feelings, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So that's like, you're someone I can like just say that I'm not happy about something, or
I get it. That's kind of how we've always worked too, because we've collaborated. So whenever whether it's in friendship or within creating something, I've always been aware of sort of like the collaborative nature of what we're creating, whether it's relationship or product. Yeah. And so I trust you. And that's what has been fostered, I guess, over the years. But I think that kind of kicked off pretty quick when we ended up being in a classroom teaching together. Oh, what's your favorite memory of me?
Ryan.
Yeah, Christopher.
Can you hold that classroom memory for a second? Is that
sure.
Cool? Laura, we had a surprise. We have a surprise for you, but it's brief. And I was going to hold off till later, but this lovely surprise, this dear friend of ours and yours, had a gardening travesty today in Calgary.
Go through anyone that you know who has good gardens.
And he was picking in the soil and hurt his eye. So I can see
he got
him struggling.
acorn.
And I just wanted him to say hello, and we'll briefly talk about his connection.
And then we'll let him go.
And then we're going to let him go.
Oh.
So welcome our friend and your friend, Mr. Grant Tilly.
There he is!
What happened?
Grant Tilly!
I shouldn't be gardening.
Do to yourself.
Well, there's a lot of gardening to do at my dad's house, and I was just clearing out the leaves.
You're in Calgary, right, Grant?
I'm in Calgary, yeah. I was
Halifax, Calgary, and Toronto going on now. I feel like we're on the national. It's great.
Full country. I don't know. I shouldn't be gardening. There was a pine branch or something that kind of hit me, and just I think brushed my eyeball or something.
I hope you didn't. I hope you didn't scrape your cornea. Like it's.
I can see, so I think that's good.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I'm gonna try to avoid it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if it gets bad, I will go. But I think for now, it's just use some eye drops and rest. And
yeah. Anyway, I saw you wincing backstage, and I thought we're gonna lose.
This poor guy.
So
I was really looking forward to hearing the song, Laura, and then being like, "Hey."
Yeah.
But, so are you gonna still watch it, or are you gonna watch later?
I think I might go lie down.
Yeah.
And then watch later.
Sometime, I hope.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But she's not going to do the song first, but we don't want to like kill like the order, but we got it. This is live, ladies and gentlemen. It's live. So Laura was going to share a piece of music tonight that you've been working on. So I was just wondering, before you go lie down, which we support, if you could just give us a snapshot. So really quickly, tell our viewers, you, of course, have been a fantastic performer throughout your career. You have appeared in shows like Jersey Boys here in Toronto, but you are also an incredible writer and composer.
Yes.
And you have been working on one of the best, as I said, I tell you this all the time, but I'll tell my viewers, one of the best songs that Grant has ever written that I heard about, I'm going to say about 15 years ago, is a song called My God's Better Than Your God. Yeah. And it's my favorite. It's like,
I'm kind of a
my God's better than your God. Yeah.
Hey,
God's
nice.
better than yours.
Of course.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I was rather partial to the COVID waltz that he put out a couple of weeks ago as well, though. I did enjoy that quite immensely.
That was like 5 weeks ago. I forgot about the COVID waltz.
Yeah.
Time is passing quickly.
So really quickly, because I'm mindful that your eye is a little sore, you've been working on a new show called
The Whole Enchilada.
The Whole Enchilada.
Yes.
And just to give us context for Laura's performance.
I can do it next. It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter to me either. But when you do, it takes place in New Mexico. A really stubborn and educated Irish judge from Finnegan's Book of World Records descends on a small town in New Mexico to judge a enchilada eating contest for the most enchiladas consumed by a town of over 500 people in less than an hour. And it's the relationship between this judge who takes things seriously and this local artist who isn't as serious but is still trying to make a go of it in this small town. And the judge doesn't really quite understand why anyone would want to even try to do that. And then, and of course, there's been a love interest there too. It's I've been working on it for about 2 years, and I think I will take. Thank you, Merle.
Aw.
Sweet. And maybe I'll use some of this time to finish it off.
So you really quickly, you're in Calgary with your dad and a big dog with lots of hair.
Yes.
So
Eric.
you are walking the dog, grooming the dog, and gardening, and trying to avoid foliage from taking out parts of your body.
Yeah, right. Like that was one of my things. I was going to get in some gardening. I was going to go all Margaret Atwood but
well, you will continue once you convalesce. So Laura, would you sing the song first? Is that cool?
Sure.
So,
hey, thanks.
What's the character that Laura's singing?
She is the local artist I was mentioning who is trying to make it a go at it in this town. And the town, it's one of those towns, well, like a lot of small towns in America and Canada, that probably shouldn't even be in existence anymore. People are holding on to it. So it's a question of why people stay and why people leave.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Lovely.
Well, watch her song and then come back and say hi to her when she sings your song, and then we'll let you go lie down.
Sweet. Okay.
Laura, are you good, boo?
Well, I have to do my fancy thing, so I'll start it in just a second.
We'll stop talking to you then.
Well, no, it's okay. This is fancy time.
I'll take you out for a second. All right, we'll bring you back, babe.
All right.
Here we go.
Since I was a kid, I loved to draw. I'd take a snapshot in my mind and sketch down what I saw. But then I'd look around and see other kids, they weren't like me. They were, well, it's not like I was a stuck-up kid or anything. It's just I knew I always wanted something more than what a life in this small town would have in store. But it was all I'd ever known. And how could I leave my dad? But he said, you've a chance I've never had, so why not try? What have you got to lose? Just try. If I were in your shoes, I'd try. This is the time to choose the life you're going to lead. There's a light that's shining bright in you, so let it lead the way, and you'll sometimes wonder what I did it for. When you're working at 3 part-time jobs and not creating anymore, feeling left behind, I guess I needed a thicker skin. I call my dad and say I just couldn't win. He said, try. Life gets hard, that's when we try. We fall down and we may cry, but still rise up again to face another day. You gotta try, though it may frighten you. Just don't be scared to try another way. Just then the phone call, your dad's sick, you better get home quick. I took care of him, the best thing I've ever done. And now I'm standing in the place from where I used to run. And though I've planned my various escapes, there's something about the landscape here, the colors and the shapes, and the people. See, I was wrong. Even weirdos here belong. I fit right in. I guess I was a stuck-up kid. And I sometimes wonder what my dad would say. You were meant to go and conquer, not settle down and stay. But I think that he'd be proud. Though I may not have gotten far, still it's the fact we try that makes us who we are. So I'll try to start over here. I'll try to still have a career. Though I know dreams can disappear, I won't let that get me down. You gotta try to share that light in you, and that light in me comes from my hometown. And maybe it's just that I like a lost cause. Maybe that's one of my many flaws. Am I stubborn or stupid or just sentimental? Could it be this August sky? Think what you'll lose if you don't choose to try. I'm coming.
That was beautiful.
Lovely. Oh.
That is a beautiful, beautiful, epic journey of a song.
Grant,
Grant, Laura, like Grant, that's
Grant,
beautiful.
Laura,
That was flawless.
every
thing.
mezzo belter is like chiming in saying, "I want that song."
I want that song. Like, it's so beautiful. That is an excellent song, Grant. And Laura, you sang
Maureen, sorry, hi
beautifully.
Maureen. Hi Maureen from Halifax, my opera buddy from Italy.
Oh, that's cool.
My singing buddy. Maureen and Sarah and I are in Diva Station. We have a trio together.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. What a magical piece of theater.
This is a beautiful duo here.
Yeah, this is a great combo.
It's just,
Grant,
it's really weird, right? No, come on.
For fucking
since Bat Boy the musical, and that.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
I was gonna say, actually,
Wow.
I was thinking about Bat Boy for a moment. And is that where you two met?
Yes.
2000.
I always tell this story that Grant's the reason I got that job. He didn't get it, but I didn't know him, and I thought he was really cute, and I read with him, and I did a really good read of the scene. So thanks, Grant. I got the job.
I got to understudy. It was all right.
That's all right. What a beautiful
piece of writing and
Thanks,
a gorgeous
Laura.
performance.
Thanks, honey. I was so happy to sing it. I think this is a great forum to share some Canadian musical theater. So
Was that the first? Had that been sung publicly before?
Only once at a cabaret that I did, actually.
By Laura?
Yeah.
It's a song for you, Laura. Like it
really own the song so far, girl.
Well, I know lots of people who could do a good job, but I didn't feel like I did a good job the first time, so I really wanted to try and do. Hi, Clint.
Hi, Clint.
I just really want to try and do it justice, and Grant knows I believe in him, and I just let's share. This time we've got hey friends, we got maybe about a year of this, so let's work on some Canadian musical theater. Like, let's do it.
I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great initiative, and I think it should be important that we try to bring as much Canadian work on here as possible.
Well, Grant, get your eyes. There are
like get writing me some tunes.
There are grants that are now available through our Arts Council platforms for virtual material, and it's becoming increasingly aware. So I will get that Canada Council profile in due course, and we'll continue that dialogue. Anyway, Grant, take care of your eye. Thank you for joining us. Love in Calgary.
Thanks.
Oh my
God.
God.
Thanks. Right, you guys are great. I'm so glad you're doing this.
Well, we love you, and we'll talk to you soon.
It's really good to see you, Grant.
Bye. You too.
Bye, Grant. Take care, baby.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Man, he's awesome.
Oh, I know. He's the funniest.
Like, he really is. And that song, and Merle pops up. Of course, Laura, you rocked it. Laura, that song. Okay, so we were talking. Let's go back on the teaching.
Okay,
Grant in.
No, it's okay. You can do it.
I know it's post song, and now my mind is always going post song. What is it like for you to? Who are the characters that you believe in? Who are the characters that you find yourself in? Why? What is it like singing a song like that? That kind of, you get the part because you fit the part. The whole perfection jigsaw puzzle thing. But you can take a song that is funny. Like, I burst out laughing a couple times during that song as well, and then wanted to cry. How do you deftly handle that? Why? How? What's the magic there?
I will say that I do want to start doing some online coaching because I've always wanted to, and I'm going to start. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, email me at actor.laura.caswell@gmail.com. For now, I'll do it for free, especially if you're in trouble. But anyway, the thing I always say to my students is, we rarely just cry. We usually smile when we're trying to cry. And yeah, in a sad song, find a moment to laugh, and in a happy song, find a moment to cry.
Is that right, Laura?
Pardon? Yeah, that's it. So I studied a lot. I studied in New York when I was 19 and 20, and then I did a master's in performance when I was 25 to 26, and I learned a lot of different techniques, and then I was fortunate to work in the field for 20 years and learned on the job. So I have my little tricks that work, that help me. But even a song like this, I still feel like it's close to my song, but it's not quite there. It's like it just takes a long time to get something to really settle into you, unless it totally. I was happy with that performance tonight, but it has taken me a year to get there. So
you did beautiful work.
It just takes a while. So people sometimes my students are so stressed. They're like, I don't get it now. I'm like, thanks, Duff. I'm 28. You're 21, Duffy.
Same Duff.
So what? Sorry, I hope I answered your question. How do I do? Experiment, try, and I always say, make sure the person is different at the end of the song than they were at the beginning.
That's such beautiful, beautiful, simple advice too. I'm always interested because I have such admiration for how people do what they do. And I know so much can be gained from doing it, but also gain stuff from watching and observing process. And I have my own tricks, and Chris has his own tricks, and so I don't want the magician to reveal all their tricks necessarily, but I think it's an interesting what we find is what I've gained from these discussions, how vastly unique and customized the process is to get from point A to point B as an artist and a performing artist, to get where they want to go. And when they're happy, and when they're happy with their pretty young and Batman and Batboy, then she's just a little.
No, I wasn't. I was,
she's a little baby.
But I always like to say I was called the new talent to watch in 2005.
Ooh.
Hope they're still watching.
I am. So Laura, again, so Oh, darn, I was just going to ask a question and then
Carol,
it lost me. Go. What do you want to say, Chris? Do it.
You wrote a show based on Carol Burnett.
Yeah,
that's what I wanted to talk about.
Like, I still consider it a work in progress. So I did that through, it was because thanks to Rob Torr. So Rob and I often sit around. He'll usually make dinner. He loves to cook from the Julia Child cookbook. And he was talking about stuff, and I said, I'd love to do some kind of Carol Burnett show. It's because I was doing Marvelous Wonderettes. I know you had Tracy on the other day, but we did Marvelous Wonderettes together a lot. And I had a short wig in that, and I was the comedic character, one of the well, we were all comedic characters. But anyway, and people said, you're so much like Carol Burnett. And then I started thinking about it and thinking about what she has meant to me. Hi, Jeff. Hi, Eric, sir, and Jeffrey. And then I started thinking, well, maybe I could do a show. And then Rob said that Smile is doing like tiny cabaret type shows. And then, anyway, so it's still a work in progress. If Carol's watching, I need to talk to you about rights. So, well, you saw my email, so give me a call. Most importantly, that show I'm trying to honor. I love Carol because, yes, she's funny, but she was smart. She was a businesswoman. She ran the show. People respected her. She's kind. She's gracious.
Mm-hmm.
And she, like, I saw Carol live a couple years ago when she was touring around. And what really hit me with that was this audience full of people was just so happy to see their friend on stage.
Yeah.
They would just, everyone felt like they were a part of it. And it was just a beautiful energy that if I can replicate that somehow in my life, I'll be pleased.
I remember watching her shows. Do you have a favorite Carol Burnett sketch, actually, that stands out over time for you?
I'd have to think because, sorry, it's been a while since I've watched some of them, although I just found out that some of them are on one of the streaming sites I use. So. Oh,
exciting. Oh, cool.
I also like, I think Tim Conway always makes me laugh the most. So it's just the Tim stuff, like the
when they corpse, right? Like when they couldn't keep it together.
It's when they crack themselves up. Yeah.
I mean, I love.
That's why they filmed it twice, right?
Yeah. I love Mrs. I love Mrs. Hawiggins and
Mr. Tudball.
Mrs. Wiggins, and some of the favorites I think are just some of those one-offs that she would just run, like have, like some of those.
With Scarlett O'Hara dressed in the curtain rod dress.
Totally.
She often was kind of the straight person in some of the sketches. So.
She was the less silly, which was actually really fun to watch her try to keep it together. Yeah. So my curiosity would be if they put us in a room together to actually do a show, who would be competing to be the silly one or the straight man between you and I, actually. But
well, we'll have to write a duo show where they compete.
Okay. Well, I think you'd be the straight man.
I think you're probably right.
No, I think
Well, I did tell you once, Ryan, I thought we should write a show about our time on the bus, so maybe it's time.
I don't. Well, we could also write it about our experience about doing a production of Once on This Island for 8 5-year-old girls.
Those kids.
Oh my God, those little girls were so cute. I still remember some of those little faces specifically. Oh, it's really funny.
I wanted to just thank dear Robert Gilbertson, who had our first donation tonight of $50, who said, Caswell singing Tilly is forever in my heart. Thank you, Robert.
Yeah.
Thank you, Robert.
And I want to say, I don't know if this is allowed, but I do have a job. So I will match every buck up to $150. So now your $5 can mean more. So if you have something to donate tonight, but it's only 10, that means 20. So I'll match it. I'll have to do it on tomorrow night's show because I don't have my card out now. But tomorrow night's show, I'll give a donation.
We trust you.
Okay.
Wow, thank you.
Up to 150. So come on, people.
Come on.
$100 to go.
All right, well, listen, you got to sing for your supper tonight.
Yes.
Hey, Laura Caswell, why don't you sing us another song then?
Okay. Yeah, so I have my
throw some pennies in your cup.
You should say, why don't you sing for us another song?
Yes, you know what it's going to be. So this one I picked because it's fun. Maureen, if you're still watching, she loves this one. And I'm just so proud of our Prime Minister who can speak so well in 2 languages when there's others who can't speak in 1.
Laura, can I, did Mr. Deer Scott, one of our team, Scott?
Shoot, what? You said you weren't going to talk when I did. Okay.
I know, but I didn't realize you had already plugged in.
Okay, what?
Scott Christensen graciously prepared the track for
Scott
Brand.
Christian.
Scott Christian, yes, thank you. He did. I'm sorry, thank you. Didn't mean
I don't
to
know
say
where
that.
Christensen came from. Hello,
Scott
Scott
Christian
Christensen.
played that last song because he played it with us the first time we did it. And you made this next track, didn't you?
It's the first one I've done for the show. It's true.
Oh, thanks for that.
Oh.
My sister just wrote that Mom's Maureen knows it's coming.
She's already like,
I don't know why Mom can't text me, but I guess my mom's passing messages through my sister, which is nice.
that's dope.
So now I will not talk.
Sorry, it's just my high-tech situation here. No, wait, wrong order. Oh my gosh. This is why I need a sound person.
Okay. It's okay, I need a production assistant. You good?
Still finding the track. Just
I need a boyfriend, so we all have needs.
Okay.
Deal with the issues button, guys. Deal with the issues button.
Oh yeah, having issues. Like.
Parlez-vous français, chanson Paris, filet mignon, n'est-ce pas? Mon ami, chaise lounge, café à crème, escargot, yum yum, pourquoi? Beaujolais, Descamps, Chevrolet coupé, merci Madame Pompidou. Jean Cocteau tout de suite, mon Dieu, potpourri, ah, that's a nice ragout. À la mode, à la carte, vive la France, bon appétit, la guerre. Crêpe Suzette, Lafayette, pardonnez-moi, c'est la vie reine ordinaire. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Coup de grâce, Gaumont Zolon, Maurice Chevalier, quel bœuf. Versailles enchanté, la plume de ma tante, Chateaubriand s'étoffe. Liberté et qualité, fraternité, font pas au Coco Chanel. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? No bidet in the hotel. Coq au vin, poutine, arc de triomphe. Mon plaisir, Champs-Élysées. Couturier, say no, merde in le chapeau. Trudeau is speaking moistly.
Unmute yourself.
Well
Mike.
done. I was giving her a moment to turn things off. That was fantastic.
That was a perfect little moist laugh.
Yeah, I wrote that today. I thought it was good.
Is there a line in that says poopy doo or
Pompidou?
Pompidou? Oh gosh, so funny. Pompidou.
By
Yum
the way,
yum.
Laura, I have to say, this is one of, you were saying, the belt is working brilliantly on this cast. Like, the sound is fast.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think, like Laura Benatti in her bathroom, I think it's the echoey room. So I recommend an echoey room to people. People were like, why is she singing in her bathroom? I'm like, I think acoustics.
Absolutely.
I think acoustics. So maybe you should always do your show from people's bathrooms.
Absolutely. Laura, you've shared with us, in addition to being an incredible performer, as everyone who doesn't know you has had the opportunity to see this evening, you are also an arts educator. And as you said, you are the head of the education department at the Neptune Theatre in Halifax, Nova Scotia, which is the largest regional theatre in the Atlantic provinces, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I get confused with how that lies in with Charlottetown and PEI, but, you know, between Charlottetown and Montreal, we're the biggest.
That's right. So, I mean, you know, much like Ryan and I, you know, Ryan teaching at George Brown and myself with Sheridan and the Toronto District School Board, we've been able to some of our things we've been able to bring into a virtual reality. But in your situation, predominantly, I know you have some adult students, but the vast majority are sort of children and youth. And of course, you've had to now figure out and theater being what it is, theater schools and musical theater training, it's up close, it's live and personal. So, I mean, aside from what the viewers can ascertain as the obvious, how have you been negotiating this tenuous time and the inability to plan, not knowing where things are at, in your role with Neptune?
I admit I haven't jumped to doing tons of stuff online yet. We put up a bunch of, thank you, Andrew. I put on a bunch of like challenges and resources and hosted a couple Zooms with some of my students. We are going to try some online stuff. That's what I'm reaching out about this week. I also teach at Dalhousie University, and so I didn't get to finish my semester with those 27 students. And I was really sad about that. I never really got to say goodbye.
What were you teaching at Dal this year?
They have a Theater 1800, which is like foundations. Theater foundations.
And were you teaching it the entire academic year since September?
Yeah. And
well, what a bummer to not be able to finish the year.
I had a great class at 8:30 in the morning. Why?
Everybody's so willing to open up and be vulnerable at 8:30 in the morning.
Anyway, but they were a great bunch. So anyway, I'm still figuring it out, but my strategy going forward is I don't want to try and do the same stuff we normally do because I think that's a waste of time. So I'm trying to think of things that will benefit from being online, things that we never have time to do, like really intense, like how to write a really good letter, how to really fix your book, how to research materials, how to break down text, like take our time with that stuff. And so that when we get back to normal, people will be a step ahead. That's the strategy I'm going to take. And then for the kids, I'm still trying to figure out, they had to rush into, online school with their parents. Everyone, it's got a lot thrown at them. So just discussions of what will work, what people need, what people want.
Well, and I can't speak for Nova Scotia, but working for the Toronto District School Board, the director of the Toronto District School Board and the Minister of Education in Ontario just made the formal announcement that school will be not extended, being on virtual until a minimum of May 31st. I would be surprised if we went back before the end of this school year. But having said that, the same thing, like all the teachers are still, the educators in the public sector and in the private sector are still adjusting to what this looks like and how we can figure out how to engage the students in an active way. And you think about all those parents. I think I shared this online. Our dear friend who was on a couple of weeks ago, Robert Creighton. Bobby Creighton's in New York City, and he's a great Broadway performer, and he's been homeschooling his two kids, and he calls it Creighton Academy. And he went for a run a couple of days and he had a Facebook live stream or something on his story, and he said, at Creighton Academy, we have wonderful days filled with joy and fun and education, and today was not one of those days. And that's the end of the stream.
And also, let's not forget that there's also chaos around while all that's happening. Like it's not just, oh, school's online now. It's also like, and we have no idea how long, and people are dying, and you don't have a job, and you don't know what's going to happen. Like, it's a lot. So patience with yourself.
I think that's one thing that I'm trying to remember always, especially when I step through the door, when I have to go out into the world, because I'm still a little not. I'm observing how seriously the rest of the world is taking this in some interesting ways, and I just told myself over and over again, patience and kindness, before I leave. Just keep a smile on your face. Just just get through it. That's all we can do is just get through it, right?
And I was thinking the other day, I was like, it's so funny how everyone went off and bought large screen and HD TVs in the last 5 years, and now everything's on Zoom and Facebook and low quality. It's
Absolutely.
Man.
I wanted to shout out a beautiful second donation from Eric Hughes for $100.
So we did it. So that means.
Yeah, but the comment said, how wonderful to see Laura on Big Girl and Friends. Laura, I was entering this in before you made your matching pledge.
Wow. Thank you, Eric.
And another Barbara Hayes for $50. Thank you.
All right. There we did. We got to our 1800 tonight then, for sure.
We did.
Right.
How wonderful.
I'll make my donation tomorrow. Who's on tomorrow?
Adam Brazier.
Right. I'll make my donation tomorrow when Adam's on.
Oh, that's
how delightful.
Not necessary, but gracious. I'm wondering, just based on what we were sharing, Ryan, what you were saying about, observing my dear partner, I don't know if you meant to send this. He just texted this to me. This is a quote from a wonderful person that we know, a motivational speaker and a conscious person named Brené Brown. And the quote is, "We will not go back to normal. Normal never was. Our pre-corona existence was not normal, other than we normalized greed, inequity, exhaustion, depletion, extraction, disconnection, confusion, rage, hoarding, hate, and lack. We should not long to return, my friends. We are being given the opportunity to stitch a new garment," which is a beautiful analogy with the people of making masks. "A new garment, one that fits all of humanity and nature." Because it was interesting, I was recalling, the discussions we were having with Alana Bridgewater this past week about how this wasn't an equalizer, in all.
Yeah, that resonated very, very strongly with me, in that this isn't necessarily an equalizer, because not all of us are living on, well, we're living animal farms. Some people are more equal than others. I mean, that's sort of where we're at, and we have a choice now to decide what we're going to do with that. And as educators, I think it's important that we are patient as well to see how we are going to respond to this and help, or try to help, build what a renaissance might be in the end of this as well. And Laura, you are someone who I've noticed as a teacher who is one of those great people who can just kind of pull things out of the air and
out of their
make
magical
things out of. I mean, you're highly inventive. And so how has your process been in New Brunswick so far in creating?
Nova Scotia, honey.
Nova Scotia. Creating. Sorry.
Kidding. No, I like New Brunswick too.
But how has that been, kind of creating your world out there from moving here to?
You mean like for the last 3 years?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so weird. Like I have to say one thing before I answer that question. Going back to the Brené Brown quote, which heard. That's what I said to my kids the other day when I was talking. When I say my kids, I mean my teens. I said to them at the end of our Zoom call, I said, guys, folks, this is the time to build your theater future. We're at a ground zero. So like, you start thinking about what you want your future to be. And you're going to build it. And I'm going to help you. And you better start thinking about what you want this to be. And they were like, "Oh, sorry, yes."
No, Laura. Relative to your kids, I just the Actors Fund just shared with us that relative to the most recent donation by Barbara Hayes, that it was Amanda Burnett from Glace Bay was connected, and it said from Laura's Neptune Youth YPCO.
YPCO, yeah, Youth Performance Company.
So from Laura's Youth Performance Company, students and families. So
that's amazing.
Your community is shouting you out and loving you out.
And so to answer your question, Ryan, like the reason I moved out here or took this job or applied for this job was I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been working. I work all the time. Going back to the quote, I'm working all the time. I'm broke. I'm single. I'm lonely. I'm bitchy. I'm like, whatever. How can I? Not much has changed, but how can I? And I felt like I needed a new challenge too. And I am determined to be a great artistic leader in this country, and I wanted to take some stones to doing that. And though I'm pretty sure that I will continue to study, but I didn't want to just take a degree for 4 years. I wanted to get in there. So saw the opportunity to apply for this job, took it, and I loved being near the ocean. I could get a dog. That was my gift to myself for getting a grown-up job.
And every time I'm down home with Gavin's family, I get to see you.
Yeah, and actually I see people a lot. Well, not right now, but people come here quite often, and I still have to go to Toronto. I drive it a lot. People are like, it's so far, but it's just a day of my life to drive home. It's just a couple of hours to fly home. And I have a great community of people here, and I'm still figuring it out. I'm a workaholic, like I said, and I don't settle down well. I'm a bit of a, I still haven't really put many pictures up. I don't know how to do that. I still have boxes I haven't unpacked because I spent 20 plus years of my life living out of suitcases. I don't really know how to make a home.
Nest.
No, but I'm very lucky and grateful to be here.
I love your story. And to have been part of it in fits and spurts and blips and dots, and then
bloops and bloops and bloops.
And blitz and bloops and pompidou or whatever that word.
Pompidou.
Pompidou. I love your story. It just makes me so happy to spend even more time with you tonight.
Thank you.
Christopher, what
and
did
you are our beautiful first connection to the Atlantic Canada, so we thank you.
There's lots of great performers out here.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I know. We know.
Absolutely.
We're joined by another beautiful friend of ours tomorrow, the artistic director of the Charlottetown Festival, the fabulous Mr. Adam Brazier. He's done a few things, couple skits throughout the years, but we're excited to have him join us tomorrow. And
he's pretty profesh.
He's pretty profesh.
Yeah, like he knows what he's doing.
And Laura,
where did Laura go? Was she jealous?
I don't know. Yeah. If you
want Laura leave the studio?
I don't know. I didn't
tell her.
Oh, I hope not.
Did you boot her out of the show?
No, I didn't tell her. I'll
get to finish her last song.
No. She has to come back. Laura, come back.
What happened?
I don't know. Oh, there she is.
Because we started talking about Adam, and maybe she doesn't like Adam. Maybe she hates Adam. I don't know.
Actually, sometimes I watch Adam. It's just his personality and his brain, and I'm like, I see you. I understand you very, very much. So,
I look forward to seeing him.
We are abundantly grateful to all of our donors tonight. Thank you for your kindness, Laura. This has been the fastest hour. What are you going to?
I know.
What are you going to?
This last one is short and sweet. It's short.
Well, we wish it could be longer, but apparently Jason Robert Brown's got a concert going on now. We got to make sure.
Yeah, please go watch that.
Okay, all right. Okay. Well, sing us this Fast and Furious song then, Laura.
Fast and Furious, and then do I get to say goodbye one more time? Or are you?
I sure hope so. Yes.
Okay, I'll do this. Wait, wrong order. This is a song that I got to do at Drayton, and I don't know, I had a big idea, but anyway, tech might get in my way, but we'll play around. It was my first job, perhaps my last job at the Drayton Festival.
You are amazing, by the way.
So here we go. I have orchestra this time. This is Remember to Be Happy, folks. There's an old superstition way down south. Everybody believes that trouble won't stay. If you shake it away. When they hold a revival way down south, everybody with care and trouble that day tries to shake it away, shaking the blues away, unhappy news away. If you want blue, it's easy to shake off your cares and troubles, telling the blues to go. They may refuse to go, but as a rule, they'll go if you'll shake them away. Do like the voodoos do, listen to a voodoo melody. They shake their bodies so to and fro with every shake. A lucky break, proving that there's a way to take your cares away. If you would lose your weary blues, shake them away. Shake them away. It's dance week, so here we go. I don't think you can see my feet, but I got tattoos on.
Our first dance break on Big Girl and Friends. Ryan, unmute yourself.
Press the wrong button. That was so great.
Thank you.
A dance break. That was amazing.
Our first dance break.
You were amazing in that show, by the way. You were amazing in that show.
Oh, Laura Caswell, you are so awesome. You are just, you
I
are,
thought it would be
you
fun.
are so awesome.
You're so awesome. But I love that song, and it's what we all need to do. Shake it off, like Taylor Swift says.
We gotta dance every day. We gotta sing a little every day. We gotta shake the blues away, right? We just gotta like
a drop-in tap class, very simple, very basic, on Neptune Theater School Instagram. So if you want to come join along, come along.
Thank you.
All the love. All the love.
That's wonderful. Look at everybody cheering. That's amazing.
Yay!
Yay!
Wonderful. Yay!
And it is Dance Week, and Wednesday is International Dance Day. Again, Stephen Scott Finley's teaching on our Instagram Live a dance class at 6 p.m. Toronto time. So join in, man. And
oh, I love this. Time for a Suji Caswell. Chris Suji and Laura Caswell.
Oh, I'd watch a Suji Caswell dance off. Oh, no, she is not tapping. You are incredible. Laura, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. You stay put, Laura, and we'll wrap this up on a private note. Everyone, thank you for your generous donations. We'll see you tomorrow night at 7 o'clock with Adam Brazier from Charlottetown. So great to see all of our friends chime in. Clint, the gang, we love you all. And we'll see you soon.
Good night, everyone.
A time like none we've had in the past. Stuck in your home, how long will this last? You're feeling anxious, stressed out,